All right, I am live. I'm just here to make a couple last minute retweets here, spread the word, get everyone aware and watching what's going on, and then I will pull up the presentation we're all here for. It's not that one, it's this one. All right, let me make one last post here in Discord. And we're good. Hey everyone, say hey if you're in chat. Love to see who's here and listening. Really excited to be walking through the status update for March for Vortex Rising. Hey Josh, hey DerpBSC, hey Ollie, hey Cicero, hey Jesse. This is gonna be fun. Yeah, so this is a public stream, so remember guys, no breaking any NDAs here, but we are going to be talking about some of the gameplay mechanics. And we will be talking about some of the character designs. When is gameplay going to be shown to the public? Gameplay will be shown when it's ready. I will say that, just yesterday we had a tournament, and in the final and grand finals, I was like, we could just literally take this entire game and just put it on YouTube and be like, here's our trailer. It was such a good match. It was really fast combat. I think the whole set, 3 stocks apiece, went down to the final stock by like 90 seconds in. It was nonstop action, and it was so much fun. I wanted to post it right then and there, and I'm like, okay, well, hold on. This is our second ever one-on-one tournament. Imagine how great our selection of clips are going to be once we're at like week 10, right? And we're making a bunch of improvements on the visuals and such, so we really ought to wait. But yeah, I think it's coming soon, honestly. I did publicly say on Twitter we are going to have a gameplay reveal by the end of April, so I would say 6 weeks from now or less, there will be some gameplay shown publicly. It might be very little, but there will be some gameplay that is shown publicly. Hey, Last Gogita, how's it going? It's going great. I'm really excited. So without further ado, let me jump into this. Quick reminder, everything is unfinished. Everything here will change over time. But let's go in. So who we are, what are our game's objectives, what is our progress to date, and what's next. That's what we're here to talk about. First, who we are. Who am I? Why am I here? I am a co-founder of Wavedash. I was really excited by their promise to be made for the streaming era, making a next-gen fighting game, and I was really disappointed with what Icon's Combat Arena became, but I am not giving up. I ended up buying Icon's Combat Arena basically out of bankruptcy and am trying to make the most badass fighting game, known to man. So let's go into it. Our goal is to make fighting games 10 times bigger than they are today. We think that fighting games are the way. Our players are called gods, but our will as players is currently being ignored by developers. They don't care about net play. They don't care about training tools. They don't care about marketing the game and making it as big as games like MOBAs or shooters, which frankly, if you think about it, the number one fighting game player in every fighting game at EVO last year combined, the number one fighting game player at EVO combined for every fighting game made $140,000. The first place Fortnite winner made $3 million. Is that one kid, is his skill worth whatever that is 200 times more than every fighting game first place winner combined? No, like that's bullshit, and we're here to change that. So that's what we're trying to do. Give us combos and more combos. Yes. So I'm glad you still like Icon's Hades Killer. I'm shocked, but that's good. So our goals. So we want to make fighting games really big. So there's 4 ways to do it: the game, the experience, the connection, and the ecosystem. So the game, we want to build the most combo-centric, expressive, and fast-paced fighting game, period. The experience, we want to have dozens of game modes that flaunt your skill and entice new players. You know, we don't want it to be like Street Fighter where there's just one game mode fight. We want it to be an experience where you can show off how agile you are, how good you are at dodging and blocking, how good you are at comboing, how good you are at all of these little skills that are in a fighting game. And they're like fun mini games to play with people who don't even know fighting games, don't even like fighting games. You could think of it like a Mario Party mini game where the objective to win is like a really core skill in a fighting game. And then if you get good at all of these mini games, you know, suddenly your friend who's never played a fighting game before can play the game. The connection. We want to connect our players online with the best rollback netcode in fighting games. I would argue we already have that. We have people playing from California to Sweden, New York City to Hawaii, and it feels great. If you are a doubter, if you are a hater, I would encourage you to try the game out for yourself. It's free. We're not going to stop you. And set up an online match, and you will see for yourself the netcode is really damn good. Our players will testify that the netcode experience is insanely, insanely good. The ecosystem. There will be more on this by the end of this, but we are going to prioritize our ecosystem. This isn't like PR talk. We care about our players. We care about our community. This is really sincere, and you're going to see it in action by the end of this presentation, how seriously we take ecosystem. Ecosystem is our players. Ecosystem are our streamers, our event organizers, our partners. We're actually putting together a package right now for venues who want to organize Vortex Rising locals to arm them with everything that they need. And I think like just thinking about like our streamers, for example, we have a dedicated streamer schedule. So right now our game's under NDA, but if you're a streamer and you want to stream it, what we can do is say, okay, give us an hour or two that works for you. We'll block it off. No one else is allowed to stream it during that time, and we'll channel our entire Discord, hey, go watch this person. They're the only person who's streaming it right now. And that way, by the time we lift the curtain, you will have an audience of Vortex Rising fans who know you and you know them, and you'll be able to go off to the races once everyone can start streaming the game. And yeah, there will be more on this by the end. Why do our goals matter? We've done the homework. We've done the research. We've ran the numbers. This is a really upsetting chart that all of you should see and know and ingrain into your head, especially if you're a fighting game fan. As big as fighting games are today, imagine all of the hype, all of the excitement of EVO, of the upsets of everything, and then now multiply that by like 15, and that's how big shooters are. That's how big MOBAs are right now on Twitch. This snapshot of hours watched came out during the like 12 months after Mortal Kombat 11 just came out and after Smash Ultimate just came out. So these numbers are only going to get worse as these new games kind of fall off. And it's shocking how far behind fighting games are to MOBAs and shooters. It's legitimately upsetting to us. We think it's stupid. And we're doing our best to try to change that. And again, it comes down to the game. It needs to be fast-paced. It needs to be exciting. It needs to be like Rocket League, where someone just looks at it and goes, that looks cool. I don't know anything about rocket-powered cars. That looks cool. Our combos need to be impressive, fast, like, wow, that's intense, that's exciting. Our experience needs to be open-ended, where people can get in no matter what their skill level is. The connection needs to be solid, and the ecosystem needs to be supported. And if we do that, we will be able to bump that up significantly for us, and hopefully if other fighting games copy us, that will help them too. Let's talk about the objectives. So this was a slide that I put out there back in October of last year, 5 months ago. This is the first time I'm talking about it again publicly since then. We had this slide, who is Vortex Rising for? And I had a Venn diagram, and I had a blue circle which represented platform fighting games. I had a yellow circle that represented arcade fighting games. And there was overlap, right? And I said, Icons, the old game, was all the way inside the blue circle. And I wanted to pull it, back so that there was a lot of stuff that overlapped with arcade fighting games, but also pull it out of both of those circles, and it would appeal to non-fighting game fans, right? So we wanted to have something that would appeal to platform fighting fans who wanted to explore new mechanics in gameplay with their favorite characters or their favorite kind of like format of play. We wanted something for arcade fighters to experiment with their familiar mechanics in a new environment, and we wanted something for non-fighting game fans just to have fun playing with their friends. So for the first time ever, we're going to be talking a little bit more about this and actually show off some of the mechanics that Vortex Rising has. And we're actually going to go into character details a little bit later as well. So what appeals to this player, to these players? If you're a platform fighting fan, you love the movement. You love the movement. You love the combos. You love the hype that comes out from ring outs, from recovering, and the anticipation of will they make it back? Won't they make it back? Will you stop them? Won't you stop them? That's what makes platform fighting games fun and beloved. For arcade fighting game fans, it's about the health points, the stress of that being whittled down as opposed to the ring outs, the cancels and the defensive options. It's about micro spacing and really intense, neutral game, the footsies. It's about that type of experience. And for non-fighting game fans, they like co-op games. They like mini games, right? If they're casual. They like team-based games if they're competitive players. And so the question is, what mechanics are we making in Vortex Rising? Well, hopefully this slide looks familiar to you. It's the exact same slide I just showed you. We have cancels on cancels. We have health points. We also have ring outs. We have recovering. We have very nuanced defensive options, very nuanced, micro spacing. We have really insane movement options as well. Actually, we've combined movement options from arcade fighting games into, or even anime fighting games, into platform fighting to make the movement options even crazier. And for non-fighting game fans, we are working on co-op modes. We're working on mini games that are really fun and just silly. Frankly, stupid sometimes, but hey, that's, everyone's laughing, having a good time, and that's great. And then we've got team-based games, which will appeal hopefully to non-fighting game competitive players who are like, I want that team strategy, I want that experience. Vortex Rising has all of this. What's our progress to date? You might be looking at all of this and go, well, this looks kind of crazy. That sounds like a lot of stuff. Sounds like it's a really stupid game with a bunch of crazy things kind of lopped into it. Well, hopefully these stats will change your mind. In October, before we had any of this, when it was just basically icons, we started layering in these features, and look at how long people are playing this game on average. We went from 50 minutes to 100 minutes a day on average, to 122 minutes on average, to 130 minutes a day on average. And in February, we hit 3 hours a day on average, and that was on like a Wednesday. So on a Wednesday, people were playing this game for 3 hours on average of 3 hours on Wednesday. Give me 1 second, my phone's ringing. Hello? Yeah, thanks. I got bailed on my girlfriend's here. She ordered food and then she left. So now I have to answer the door too when the delivery guy gets here. Sorry about that, guys. So I don't have a landline. It's like our apartment building. So next, let's talk about retention. This is something that nobody as a game studio would ever share, but we're sharing it with you. Why? Because we value transparency, honesty. We have nothing to hide. NDA is a bad example, but there's a reason for that. But we'll share everything that we can with you guys. So this is our retention numbers. So this is all pre-coronavirus, by the way. Everything you see here is pre-coronavirus. These stats were locked in at the end of February. So let's talk about retention. What retention is measuring is, and every game studio does this, they say like, okay, who's playing how many days later? If you log in and create your account and you play the game and then you come back 1 day later, that's your day one retention. You take all of those people who came in and then you say how many of them came the next day. For us, it's like 28%. Then you say how many of them came back 3 days later. For us, it's 17% right now. 7 days later, 11%. And it's kind of arbitrary. It's like who on earth just like logs in and says, I'm going to log in 3 days from now, I'm going to log in 7 days from now? It's kind of arbitrary, but it's still a good benchmark that the gaming industry uses to see how much people like playing your game. And what's really interesting about this number for us is look at how we doubled the day 3 and day 7 retention over this time. And the reason why that's happening, in my opinion, is that the people who are sticking around love what they're seeing. And they're playing more and they're playing for longer. And the opportunity here for us is to get that D1 up. So this is something as a game studio, I'm giving you like the CEO, game manager, game studio head mindset here. I'm looking at these numbers and I go, okay, our day 1 means 1 out of 3 players decide to play this the next day. And so we need to figure out why that is and bump that up. And for us, I think it comes down to the different experience that you can have. Right now, it's basically still very centralized around the competitive experience. We don't have a lot of those mini games. We don't have a lot of co-op experiences. We don't have a lot of like fun casual things. We also don't have any training whatsoever. You just drop in to the full game. Ashley, try your best to ask the question. Try your best to ask the question, and I'll we'll go at it. But there's no training. You just drop in, and then it's like, create a lobby. What do I do? How do I use it? How do I navigate this? There's no controls. There's no tutorial. There's nothing. And so that's coming later. I will be talking about that. But if we can get our day 1 where just half of our players, if just half of our players were sticking around the next day, which I think is totally achievable, these stats that already doubled once would double again. And then at that point, we actually legitimately would have like Fortnite level numbers. So I'm really excited about that. Ashley says they got in recently. The match length has increased. So there's a couple comments from the guys in YouTube chat here asking about this, and you go, well, someone could be playing 3 hours a day on average, but that doesn't mean it's good. But the point here is we're looking at every single player who ever boots up Vortex Rising. How much are they playing on average? And the fact that that number is increasing and the number of players is increasing is a very good sign. It's just a good sign. Now, it doesn't mean everything's perfect. It doesn't mean it's a great game. I'm not saying that we're releasing it tomorrow. It's just a good sign that the decisions that we're making are working. It's a symptom, you know. If you think like you want to know if someone's healthy, you take their temperature. Just because their temperature is normal doesn't mean they're not sick, right? It's the same thing. Like, this is a way that we can get the temperature of the game's design quality and see how healthy it is, and it's increasing. Then we look at referral rates. This is another way to measure temperature, right? We're looking at referral rates increasing over time. So we had 9% of people get referred in October. Then we had 19% of people come in November. Then we had 27% of people come in February who are referring people. And these numbers keep increasing. So we've actually started to set up a new referral program to help us get a little bit more of an accurate reading on this stuff, which I'll be talking about in a bit, but I'm very excited about that. But all in all, again, temperature readings are looking good. We're really excited about it. It means that we're feeling really comfortable in where the game design is going, where these mechanics are going. That's why we're starting to open up and talk about some of these mechanics, because we know that we are onto something, and at this point, some of the core mechanics we've introduced are not likely to go away. They're going to be in the game for good. So what's next? Visuals. So art style. We have not worked on this at all. The game looks like icons still. That's why it's still under NDA. People are going to look at it and be like, that's icons. And then we're like, well, no, it's not. It's totally different. So we are changing the art style. It's going to be more stylized. It's going to feel nostalgic. It should feel more fun. We want the animation to get polished. We're not going to be able, we don't have the time or resources to redo every animation, but we're going to be redoing the problematic ones. And it's interesting because as we started working on the game, we're like, wait a second, like literally this happened last week. I was like, Zhurong's idle animation just sucks. Like it sucks. And then we're like, oh my gosh, yes, her idle needs to be so cool now. Like, and so the idea for the thing about the animation is it's going to be a lot more flowing. It's going to be a lot more smooth. There'll be a lot more personality with the animations. So we're really excited about where that's going. Shout outs to Omni, who just helped release Project Plus, and really excited about his work. He was involved in a lot of the new characters and new animations in Project Plus. If you haven't seen the trailer, it just dropped yesterday. He was one of their lead animators, and he's helping us. You know, shout outs to him. Really, really excited to have him on the team, and helping him and having him level up our animation quality. He's also a superstar about working with the community. He does all his animations in streams, and he loves having people come in and iterate and get people's feedback. So it's a lot of fun to hang out in our Discord. UI, we want it to be informative. We want it to be clean. That's kind of the basics. But we want it to be unique. When someone looks at the screen, we want them to think that's Vortex Rising. It shouldn't look like any other fighting game. It shouldn't look like Smash like a Smash clone. And so we want to have like a really unique UI where you look at it and go, that's Vortex Rising. That's cool. It makes sense. It's informative. It's clean, but it's special. It's that game. And so we're really excited about where we can take that. Honestly, and that will also help with the whole like Smash clone kind of feel as well. Characters. So the way we think about characters, I actually did a Reddit post about this when we went to CEO, and I was talking about how we want our characters to be distinguished by movement style. We currently have our core cast, who are all, you know, close quarter rush down with, you know, either melee weapons that are longer or shorter in range, and then they have kind of speeds that offset that. So that's our core group. Then we have our grappler, we have zoners, and we have flyers, characters who can just fly. We had Ezzy. We have another one who I'll be talking about in more detail on the very next slide. And the bottom line is no more Smash clones. The animations and moves that were ripoffs, we're also getting rid of as well. So our Marth clone, we are actually doing work to replace their, you know, up attack, their forward attack, down attack. And 8-way flyer, no. Our flyers are, one of them is 360 and one of them is left and right. So let's talk about our Spacey. Our Spacey is distinguished by their movement. They have their signature jetpack, which allows them to hover on command. They are a fast faller. Now they've got an entirely new dimension to mix up their fast fall speed, which is their ability to hover on command and then drift left or right at that height. And this is a massive game changer for their movement speed, because typically when they were jumping, because they're a fast faller, they would jump up very high and then fall very quickly. Now that they have a jetpack that allows them to float and hover left and right, they can span massive distances. We've also dramatically bumped up the movement options on kids' specials that we did not change. Hey, Athorment, welcome. Good to see you. And then, you know, we didn't really like, first of all, I would say at Vortex, we just hate spamming attacks. We hate anything that's degenerative. I'm not saying that Fox or Falco's lasers are degenerative, but kids were. However, we played with them. And so what we wanted to do was literally give them a tactical strategic projectile, which is a tactical grenade. And it has like an arc to it. And so you can literally, if you space different things, you can like shoot over platforms and hit angles that you wouldn't normally be able to do, or hit people who are trying to recover at certain angles. Using the jetpack to kind of position yourself to think about how you want to space those grenades is really interesting in terms of like synergy among their moveset. And so our spacey feels like when we were at CEO Dreamland, people were like, this is Fox and Luigi and Peach combined, which I was super excited by. And I think that's the right direction for this character. So next, Afi Galu is a character that we are going to rework. I was actually going to rework them today, but I had to make this presentation. So, and yeah, our totems, you know, what we want to define them by, distinguish them by, is their totem and idle totem gameplay. And so what we want to have happen is that when you've got your idle statue, if you remember, Afi and Galu control two statues, and then you have one who's idle, one who moves around, and then you can like switch places, and then you're active with this one, and this other one's idle. So what we want to do with that is allow them to switch much more fast between them, but whenever the idle one gets attacked, it will take damage. It won't have knockback, but it'll take damage, and it will prevent you from switching, and it will also prevent you from using the idle statue for abilities. Now, what I want to talk about that for a second is anytime you use a special, their projectile, they currently have an 8-way special. They also have their up special. When you use any of those, it will activate on both totems. So if you use projectile, both projectiles are coming out. You use their up special, both totems are using their up special. And it's going to be really, really, really interesting to see what kind of setups players use with this, you know, truly zoner-like character. And again, if they hit your idle statue, none of those abilities can come out, and they can just keep wailing on that idle statue and pressure you to come and rescue it. Because it's now trapped to take damage. Don't you worry about the balancing. We will figure that out. That's our job. But yeah, it will be really fun. And so the idea between, you know, Kid with the jetpack and Afi and Galu with these totems is you can see they play very differently. And we want to really kind of push that further with the new characters that we want to come out with. I'm pretty sure I showed this publicly. There's an acrobat character in the works. You know, we would want her, for example, instead of kind of running on the ground, she would like bunny hop. And so she's like constantly airborne while running around. And I think that's another really interesting kind of idea. You know, how does a character play like that who's constantly jumping and airborne? And, you know, how many jumps do they get when they are already airborne, right? Like these are fun things to think about. And we have new mechanic alert. We have super jumping in the game, which allows you to cover very massive distances very quickly. You know, how do they use the super jump system? So I think that there's a lot of fun that we think about, like characters that just play very differently. So very excited to get Afi and Galu into the mix and to have people keep playing them. So, next up, and this is the beginning of ecosystem stuff. I was talking about putting ecosystem as the priority. So HOLOS are a tool for player expression. You may or may not remember them from icons. They were little emotes you could throw up in the game. They'd be little like graphics that would appear, and then they would kind of fade out and disappear. And we want to allow these to be used during the 3, 2, 1 countdown and during the victory screen. So that's going to be kind of like a really fun, trolly moment for a first impression or a last impression on the enemy. Hey, I just dunked on you. Here's like 50 different holograms, right? Oh, for the redacted, I'm gonna show you guys what that is anyway. So don't worry about that. I'll tell you what the redacted is. The redacted is we are launching our HOLOS alpha sign up right now. So I will show you what that looks like. And I will change this to be the proper size here. Give me a second. So this is the vortexrising.com website. And if you go to HOLOS, this is something we're really excited about. So basically, the next generation of developer support is coming soon. Basically, as a player, as a event organizer, as a brand, as a streamer, you can upload pictures that we approve and they get put into the game and we sell those to players and you get a ginormous cut of that. And so this is a way for you to build followers and monetize your fans in ways you've never been able to do before. Very, very excited about it. Again, if you're an artist, streamer, event organizer, brand, player, whatever, and you have, or you're just an artist and you make cool shit, please sign up. We would love to have you create holos that come into our game. They're going to be funny. They will be scary. They'll be, very emotive. And yeah, we're very, very, very excited for where this goes. Shout out to Wishingrad, who's basically made half of the emotes in our Discord channel. I'm sure he's going to love it. Sagab asks a very prescient question. They said, what about character skins? So, let me tell you. We're going to start with holos. No, there's no cost to make holos. You just upload it. And then if you get like 5, we'll start out with a low number, but like you need a certain amount of people to buy it and say that they want it. And then assuming that we get enough number, like let's say it's 5 people, then we will take it upon ourselves to put that into the game, assuming there's no like IP, it's all original content. There's no IP infringement or nothing like that. We'll put into the game and then people can just buy it. If someone pays for it and then it doesn't go live, we'll refund them. It's not a big deal. But yeah, there's no cost to make a holos. There's no limit to how many you can upload. So very, very excited to that. Brand holos. Yeah, so if if Nintendo wants to market their games in Vortex Rising, then we would have a deal where they could have a Animal Crossing holo in the game. That's definitely in the cards. So if you are a brand that you have stuff you want to promote, then we are happy to take your money and make cool emotes. Yoshi's Whirly World isn't going to sell itself, you guys. Yeah, so that's holos. It is. We are taking signups right now, and very, very excited. Last Go Getta says, surprised how catch-free this sounds. I'm sure further details will come soon, and I sense there are many challenges with this. So, there are many challenges that come with this, but they are not your problem, they're my problem, and they're the developer's problem, which is moderation, right? And so the idea is that we will have a team of moderators that we will pay to go through all of this, and we will basically give them a percent of the things that they correctly moderate, and we will penalize them if they moderate stuff that ends up having to get removed. So they will actually get paid based on how successful the things that they approve are, and they'll get punished based on the things that they shouldn't have approved into the game. That's going to be a very complicated system, but it's going to be the only way that we can do this at scale because, unless we come up with like an AI or something, it's going to be very, very challenging to moderate and review all of these holos. So the biggest problem with it comes down to moderation, but that's our problem and one that we're kind of very focused on figuring out. So, yeah. Cool. So that is holos. Let's go back to the stream here. So what's next? This is a section of things that we are working on over the coming months. So don't expect a lot of this to happen before the summer, but we would like new game modes, both casual and competitive. We want more training tools. I said out the butt here, lots and lots of training tools, recording actions for CPUs to copy, replays, right? Like really, really detailed training tools. We want to have a quick play feature so you can like just start a game in 2 minutes or less and just quickly get into a game. And in terms of ranking and progression, um, we want to have that in the game. So you can be like, this is how good I am. I want to know where I stack up against people today, this week, this month, in my region, etc. And so that's what we're working on. We're really excited about all of this. And again, sign up at vortexrising.com. You can play the pre-beta right now for free. And let's talk about the referrals. So if you sign up and you click here and you sign up, we now have referral rewards. So what does this mean? Well, you get a link, and for every person who clicks your link, everyone here, please use my link because I want to get all the referral rewards. Don't actually do it. If you want to, you can, but I will be giving myself rewards. First of all, if you hit 3 referrals, you'll get access to the chosen VIP channel. This is a channel where everyone can see it, but you're not allowed to talk into it. We're testing patch notes early. We're discussing character designs early. These are kind of our active players who get to have a first say on things that happen in our community. When you hit 5, you will, for every 5 you hit, including the first 5, you will get a Legacy Edition skin. So thinking about your favorite Icons character, their default skins will be locked. No one will be able to get it normally. And so if you want that for the flair, the fun, for every 5 referrals, you get access to one of those skins. You choose which one you want, and if you do it, 40 times, you get all of them. I think that's super cool. For the first 6 people you refer, you will get your own dojo, which is a text channel in our Discord, and you can start recruiting people to join your dojo. We use dojos to have player versus player battles, team versus team battles. You can see which dojos are doing the best. You will have to either be a weir, the best at a character in the game right now to get a dojo, or you can refer a bunch of people and get your own dojo. From there, if you do 10 referrals, you can design a hologram. So we will hire a artist to make a hologram for you. So obviously, it will have to be appropriate, but we will commission an artist to make a hologram of your choice, and it will be in the game. And then, of course, you and the artist will split commissions on that based on our holo program. Then for 100, you get an hour-long conversation with me and Team Vortex about the future of the game and where we're going. At 100, you also get to design a character recolor skin that will be default for everyone to get to choose. At 50 referrals, you will get commentary coaching, and you'll get to commentate a Vortex Rising tournament. And then at 1,000 referrals, this will be for like YouTubers and influencers. God bless any of you if you can get to 1,000 referrals. You'll get to design a character skin, no strings attached, whatever you want. And then every month, we will have so we have 12 days left in the month. If you are the top referrer that month, you'll be the War Master Weir, which will also have your own Discord channel that will be public, that anybody can join, and you'll also have your own voice channel. The dojo will only be available to people who you refer or say that they want to be a part of your dojo, whereas the War Master Weir will be a public channel that's available to everybody, and the Discord currently has 2,000 members. So I'm very excited about all of these referral rewards. Again, you can get it by signing up. If you've already signed up, you can say check my referral rewards. If you don't have any, then you can hit sign up again, and then you'll get them, and then you can go ahead and start earning towards these. Very, very excited about where the HOLOS are going to go. And the website just got a facelift. So we talk about our goals here, about the game, about the experience, about the connection, about the ecosystem that we just talked about here on the stream. And then we also follow our progress. And here at the very bottom, we've got some inception going on here. This is our stream right now that you guys are all tuning into. So what do you guys think? Again, vortexrising.com. Play the pre-beta now for free. Would love to have you check it out. What are your reactions to our character design philosophy? What are your reactions to our Holo program? What are your reactions to the game design direction? Love to hear all of it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this up in case you guys have questions about it. I do want to answer questions about our mechanics, so feel free to ask. We'll see where I leave the NDA behind and what I defer to hold on to. So I'll give chat a couple minutes here to get some questions. I'm going to grab a water while I do that. All right, I changed my mind. I don't want a water. I want a highball cider cocktail. No underage drinking, guys. Drink responsibly. Let's see. I don't see any questions. Game James says, I'm glad you're implementing stuff for casual fans and such. Me too. Thormont says, Holo program sounds fun. Having a bunch of holos appear at once that are locked behind a shop would kind of be a little overwhelming. Perhaps monthly rotations you can obtain like trophies. So for the holos, we already have 250 holos that are included for free, that are just in the game when you buy it. And yes, it's not going to be a free-to-play game. You will buy the game when it comes out. We hate loot boxes. In fact, I will show you our new website. Where am I going? Our culture page. Anyone can contribute. Transparency first. We're addicted to improvement. We're not assholes. And I want to highlight here, we will listen to you when you tell us what you want. We are never implementing loot boxes either. I'll just let that sit there. We're here to help. Nothing is someone else's job to do. This is a team effort, and you can help anyone with anything. So, let's see. Ashley says, the most fun mechanic is telling your friends you can't tell them anything about Vortex Rising, and then they get mad at you laughing at them. Yeah, they could just, if they sign up in the Discord, then they can see everything and do everything. Oh, so what Thorman says about the holos, you want to be locked behind a shop. So we already have 200 that are in the game. I think it's 200. Don't quote me on that. It's a lot. There's a lot. And for these holos, they will have a store. We're gonna have a store page that will go up, and then you can sort by person, you can sort by event, you can sort by emotion, you can sort by whatever, and then you can just see what the newest ones are, which ones are trending, and if you want to get one, you can get one. And then if you buy it, it will appear in your in-game collection in the client. Folks, are you guys all just speechless? Any questions? Happy to keep channels open here for another 15 minutes, and then I will call it. Will there be a platformer mode? 100%, yes. Yes, there will. It's not going to be like Celeste or anything, but it's going to be a very simple, very fun platformer, and I'm really excited to get that in. By the way, if you guys are already in the Discord, you have to watch the tournament from yesterday, because Valnashir, who is our Weir of Weirs, and Cicero, who is our number 2, went head-to-head, and the grand finals, Game 2, Game 3 combined were 5 minutes. both of those games combined were 5 minutes, and it was the most insane, fun action. And I would thoroughly encourage you, if you're in the Discord, to watch those games because holy cow, they were fast. Ashley says, do you have level designers on the team for the platformer mode? I would say that we're always looking for new developers, actually. So I'll scroll down to the bottom here. I'll say Vortex is always looking for Unity and C# developers, Maya animators, UI artists, VFX artists, and 3D modelers. Sign up to our Join the Movement, and then reach out to me on Discord to inquire about a role within Team Vortex. We hire a lot of people. Part-time, but we hire a lot of people who are passionate and want to contribute. We're not going to say no. Chris Doyle says, just tuned in. Is there any way I can get a view of the game? Twitter is nothing relevant. There is nothing public about the game yet. You can watch this video from start to finish. We do talk a lot about it. You can also go onto our website and see all of the stuff that we've talked about it publicly under Follow Our Progress. But if you want to see the game, you got to sign up. That's just the way it is right now. Our game doesn't look as good as it should, and that's why it's under NDA. So if you sign up, we will give you a pre-beta key tonight, and you will get to play. If you're in the Discord, it is under announcements, and I'm sure if somebody will help me out, they'll just post it in general right now for you to go find it. Ataru asks, so Ashley, you asked about designers. So if you're interested, sign up if you like the game and share your skill set, and we'll try to have you work on it too. Last Spaghetti says, break the targets, board the platforms. I think that will do something similar to that. But I don't know what, and I think that those designs are overly simplistic for what the potential is. So there's that. Story mode. Story mode's kind of out of scope right now, but we will try to have something cool happen. I feel like people put so much time and energy into story modes, and people just skip the cutscenes. So we'll get there, but it's not a short-term focus, especially not for pre-beta and maybe not even for beta. I feel like story is like full launch. We want to have the story. Are there any concrete progress, showable or not? In the Discord, there absolutely is. In the Discord, you can see that there's actually images that we've shared. On the stream yesterday, I actually shared an image as well of what the art style is starting to look like. Where's the link to the match? I answered that. Derpia says, so tempted, wait for a trailer. Wait for a trailer. It's coming this summer. The gameplay reveal is not going to be a trailer, but maybe that will entice you. But as Ollie Wonder says, there's nothing to lose. It is free. Last Go Get It says, anywhere other than Discord? Nope. How do you become a Patreon, Metafis says? That would be nice. We don't have any income right now. Maybe when we launch HOLOS, those will go gangbusters. But right now, we're all donations. And here's our Patreon page, patreon.com/vortexrising. Please do support. This is the only income I've had for like 2 years, and I pay for everybody on the team. And I'm not like a trust fund guy. I'm just a dude who worked on Wall Street for 2 years, had a decent amount of money, but like I don't pay any rent. I haven't had any rent in like a year because I can't afford it. Essential question, any plans for Switchport? We want to go cross-platform next year. Yeah, let's talk about the NDA really quickly, actually. The NDA, it says here, I accept the non-disclosure terms and conditions. You click this link. This is the NDA. It's less than a page. It's super simple. This isn't even the NDA. This is just talking about the NDA, and it goes the basics, why you should follow the rules. Public stuff isn't confidential, obviously. You can also get special treatment from these terms. So literally, the NDA is this. This last piece says you can get exempted from these. This says stuff is public. This says, the penalty includes but is not limited personal ban. That's not a big deal. Ban from Discord, as well as any potential pursuit of copyright enforcement. That's like you make a YouTube video, we will shut you down because it's not supposed to be live right now. We're not gonna like sue your pants off or anything, unless you like leak all of our data to like Nintendo. In which case, we're not suing you, we're suing Nintendo. So, you know, yeah, it's a super super chill NDA. Let's see. Ashley says, would the platform levels be built around a more static design philosophy with a learning gimmick, mastering it in one level like Mario? I think it's going to be both, actually, at least from my initial, brainstorm of what it looks like in my head. But maybe actually, well, it depends. We're gonna have multiple platformer games. One of them will be definitely the former, and one of them will be more like the latter, but still uh, less fixed. Game James says, speaking of Holos and Patreon, will Holos be available to Patreon supporters? Yes. So if you're a Patreon supporter, I'm going to backlog all of the dollars that you've given and convert that into like holo dollars, basically, so that you can start buying holos for all the donations that you've made. So holos will probably be $1 a piece. So if you donate $100, you'll have 100 holos that you can buy. You'll be set for life, basically. Recently, there have been some questions from players. Can I show this to my little brother? I would say that the thing is, yes, you can. Like, I would say immediate family, household members, you can show it to. Especially because we have the War Master program where people are bringing the game to locals. So it's actually very, very chill. You can actually show it to anybody in your household, and there's no issues there. Just don't let your brother record it and upload it to Twitch, right? Like that's the issue. And the worst thing that I will do is tell you to take it down, or I'll tell Twitch that this is copyrighted material and it needs to be taken down. And that's it. Rep says, how many people have entered tournaments on average? Our tournaments are very young. We're on our second weekly ever. Our second weekly had 16 entrants. Super small, super chill. But I think that it's going to be growing a lot faster, especially next week, because typically we only announce it like 5 hours in advance. But yeah. DerpySC says, any thoughts on third-party guest characters? For us, I would think that most of the third-party stuff will come in from Holos. We may have interactions, like, what Fortnite does with, like, oh, Thanos is here for a little bit, right? But I don't like the idea of having other third-party characters in our game, but I'm open to changing anything. Sagab says, you should do a short elevator pitch style video and put on the landing page of your website and YouTube to explain what the direction is. Without any short form video, it's hard to get people in. Totally agree. That will be changing soon once we have like the little gameplay snippet by the end of April. I'm gonna eat this carrot now. It's a baby carrot. I would love to have a fish bungin holo. That'd be sick. I want to get something really quick. This is a cake that has been memed on in our Discord. One of our creators put my face on this cake. If you stick around to this stream long enough, I probably will eat the entire rest of this cake too. I mean, it's basically a challenge. How much will the game cost on release? We don't know yet. It's going to be a paid game, but it's not going to be $10. It's not going to be $50. So somewhere in between. Scruffling Boogaloo says, "How many characters do you plan on adding to the game?" We currently have 8. We want to have like 2 more flying characters, 3 more grappling characters, a bunch of acrobat characters, a couple more zoners. If there's an archetype I'm missing, we'd want to build out that entire group. But I would think around like 18 to 20, maybe. What are holos? Are they skins? Holos, Ike Dude 21, are the emotes in the game. So they're in-game emotes. They're player-made, player-monetized. So if you're an artist, streamer, event organizer, player, or brand, you can have your holos added to the game. And this is the alpha sign-up. You're interested in the acrobatic character. Any additional information on them? She's very musically inclined. She's very like spunky and fun. She's very colorful, personality-wise, in her character. And she jumps around a lot. Plans regarding dedicated taunts. What's a dedicated taunt? I don't actually know what that is. Way doing redacted that one time? I don't even know what that is. What did Way do that was redacted? He could helicopter fly, but that's gone. There's a lot of stupid bugs in the game. I was gonna put a bug in the game. I was gonna put a bug in this presentation where we were playing with the shaders to make the cartoony style, and it was like the Assassin's Creed bug where the entire character was gone except for their eyes and their teeth. That was really scary. I have nightmares of Zoo. And then, of course, Val Nashir made the faceless Zoo an emote in our Discord, which I'm sure is going to be a holo now. Yeah, but then one of our players, one of our developers, took it upon themselves to take the 3D model for Wei Shan and make him twerk, which was a bit much. All right, so Go Get It says, taunts are animations and voice clips for the character. Show me your moves, holos, and customizations, but sounds. Oh yeah, we've got taunts, we've got voice lines, we've got all that stuff. We've got all that, but they're not going to be like player submitted for now. The thing is with holos, if holos goes well, we'll let players do stage backgrounds. We'll let players do character skins. Like, why not? All the footage for the Wei Shan twerking, you'll have to search it in the Discord. I'm sure if you search Wei Shan and twerk in the same sentence, like there can't be a lot of examples of that in our Discord. So I'm sure you'll find it. There was definitely a question I forgot. Oh, Table Salt Archives. What's going to happen to Ashani as far as being a Falcon clone? So, you know how Kid isn't really a Fox clone anymore? They're more of like a Fox, Peach, Luigi. Ashani right now, um, I would say is like a Little Mac chic Falcon with, I don't know. I don't know like what characters are down special like. I don't play Ultimate, so I don't know like what character that might be like, if any. If someone's in our chat that knows a comparison for her down B, but I don't think, I don't know. She's kind of like, yeah, like that. I would say Chic, Little Mac, Falcon, and new Ashani. She's like Goku, someone said. Is that if that person's an ultimate, then yeah, she's like Goku. Ultimates online makes you cry. Well, I have good news for you. You will cry tears with joy when you play Vortex Rising online. It's very good. We ran a tournament online, and there was a guy playing in Europe against a bunch of like Californians. No results for Twerk in the Discord. It might be in a developer-only channel. Um, can you share your thoughts on the netcode? No, you can share your thoughts on the netcode. Archibaldi says, have you ever thought of hiring animators to make a TF2 style character showcase that shows personality and playstyle? Um, I don't know what that means, but someone said we should make like an FPS character, like someone who uses a rocket jump and like has like a burst assault rifle for like their neutral B and like throws grenades and stuff. And I think that'd be sick actually. I think that'd be really cool to make like an FPS character. Oh, oh. Yeah, that'd be cool. Character shorts could be cool. They're hard to do well though. This is the way. Look guys, I'm almost like all the way through on one side of the cake. This is bad. This is a big piece of cake. But it's carrot cake, and I love carrot cake. This is my birthday cake. It was my birthday 3 days ago. We're always looking for more 3D animators. Thank you. Let's go back to mechanics. All right, 10 more minutes, guys. I said 15 minutes 20 minutes ago, but we'll do another 10 minutes and then I'll wrap it up. Otaru asked, who do I main? So when I play RTSs and stuff, I love, like, whatever the mood is, I'll play a different race depending on, like, my mood. And for fighting games, it's the same. Whatever my mood is, that's what I want to play. And when I was at CEO Dreamland, I really liked playing Ashani. I think I'm gonna go into a Raymer phase soon, or an Ezzy phase soon, and then. But right now, my main is Wei Shan, undoubtedly. Ashley, you can ask Omni for that in Discord, and he'll hopefully hook you up. So All I Wonder asks, tell me more about the arcade fighting game fan concepts. So, we had a lot of cancels, which means the gameplay is really fast. Really fast. Literally, we have a metric. It's like your speedometer. It tells you how fast you're going. And during the tournament yesterday, we had our top player doing like 40 attacks a minute. 40 attacks a minute. Very, very fast. From all the cancels. Health points. Health points are like an anti-Marthitis. So games don't last forever, and if someone's like doing stupid stuff, the game's not going to last forever, which is good. Health also is basically a bracketed percentage. So it's like instead of being 0 to 40%, you're at 0 to 40%. It's like 0 to 40%, you're at 20. And from 41 to 80, you're at 60. And from 81 to 120, you're at 100. And because you have bands now, which represents really nicely with health, because it's like, oh, you've got blue health, you're in the first bar. You've got green health, you're in the second bar. You've got yellow health, you're in the third one. Orange health, you're in the fourth one. Red health, you're in the last one. It makes practicing combos so much more consistent, because you can be like, yo, oh, the enemy's in yellow health, that means I can do this, or they're in blue health, so I can do this. Instead of being like, oh, they're at 47.3%, so now I can use an up tilt, up smash, like, which is just stupid in my opinion. So, but hey, I mod have opinions. So we simplified that system a lot, and it's really fun, and it makes a lot of sense. And then when you hit 0 health, you don't die, but that's all I'm going to say about it right now. You also don't go into a gulag, so it's not like Warzone, but you don't die when you get 0 health. Can he wave shine now? Afi Galu can't wave shine. Kid can float shine. You can like jetpack and shine around. No rage? No. No rage. We do have, like, I would call them mini comeback mechanics, but we don't have like anything like rage. And the mini comeback mechanic, I say mini because they're not even really mini comeback mechanics, because it's like everybody has it, you know. It just, did you decide to use it as a comeback mechanic, or did you decide to use it to like press your offensive? What's a silhouette mode? Sounds interesting. Icon Jet Set Radio Evolution outlines? No, I'd love to see that. Drop a link into the Discord. Supers? We kind of have supers, not really, but like we have like a thing that you can only use like once per game or a couple times per game. We definitely have resources. I'm allergic to meters, but we have resources that aren't like lives, but there's other things you have that like deplete when you use them. Is there going to be a mode where you can play vanilla icons? No. There is a mode where you can play vanilla one-on-one Vortex. If you want to play icons, it's called Icons Legacy Edition. We released that. That game is really slow compared to Vortex. Really slow. Alright, I don't think I can eat any more cake. I thought I could eat the whole thing. I just ate half of it. Look at how much is left. Thoughts on mods? Well, I'll say this. We want HOLOS, so we're doing that. If that goes well, we're gonna let people design stages and design player tokens and logos and character skins. What comes after that? That's my thoughts on mods. Oh, that's cool. Hey, Jordan, I answered this question already, but somewhere around like 16, 18, maybe 20. That's like ever. So, I mean, I might change my mind about that. We already have a joke where it's like, for, hey Logic, good to see you, man. Would love to have you commentate one of these days now that you've got some time. JerPSC says, Project icon conversion mod. We already have a joke for April Fools. We'll like take out all of the fun parts of the game and call it icons. The loot box mod, yeah. Where you we make you pay $25 per character in loot boxes to get them. We have a stage in the works called what's it called? I don't know what it's called, but we literally took the loot box model, or it's called garbage compactor, and it's like literally this conveyor belt with boxes that go across the end and get dumped off, and the boxes in the garbage compactor are the loot box models. Um, yeah, that's not that hasn't been put in the game. It's not really been worked on, but we made it, and it's like halfway implemented. It's like no textures on it or anything. It's all just gray boxes, except for the loot boxes, which are still the loot boxes, and they just kind of slide off and they get dumped on the end. But yeah, I don't think anybody knew that. By the way, I think I just like shared a secret. Coolio. All right, that is the 15 minutes plus another 15 minutes. I'm gonna go, but this has been a really fun stream. I really appreciate the questions. I really appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you're in the Discord, watch the games from yesterday. If you're not in the Discord, go to vortexrising.com, sign up. If you're already in the Discord and you've already watched those clips, start referring some people. And if you are a artist, streamer, event organizer, player, or brand, sign up. We will have you designing some holos, and we will try to get you some money. Not that that's important, but we'll get your brand out there. It's for exposure, but also money. All right. Love you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching me eat some cake. And I hope you like the stream. We will be in touch again soon. Gameplay hopefully coming by the end of April. And yeah, it's been fun, guys. See ya.